This is Dave Palumbo with RxMuscle.com in the Iron Asylum with Robet Wichman. We were here 3 weeks out from the 2011 NPC Jr USA Championships. We're going to be doing a little back training here at Extreme Family Fitness in the great old state of Missouri. Welcome.
Hey, how's it going?
Well, Robert, you had a very successful past weekend. You just won the NPC Muscle Mayhem overall. Congratulations on that.
Hey, thanks a lot. It was a lot of hard work, but it was definitely something to savor.
Yeah, that was Chad Nichols' show. Now, talk to me a little bit about what weight class, what you weighed on stage, and give us your height and all those lovely measurements.
I'm 5'6", and I competed as a middleweight, and I was a little worried that I wasn't going to make middleweight this year, and so I kind of timed how I was going to do my weigh-in, and I actually came in just under the numbers. I came in at 175.6.
Oh, wow.
So
skin of your teeth.
Yeah, skin of my teeth, and I feel like I had a nice full package, and I had that nice dry look and nice detail to go with it, and it feels really good being able to be a middleweight and win the overall, because I know that the middleweights typically, they get kind of overlooked a little bit.
Now, what in your mind enabled you to take that overall trophy? Was it your conditioning? Was it just your completeness? What won this for you?
I'm going to go with kind of like a completeness. A lot of times I hear people telling me that I have great symmetry and stuff like that, and I think with just the given symmetry that I naturally will carry, along with the conditioning that I was able to bring into this show, just the combination of all of that coming together, I think is what really helped make the win happen.
Now, were the other guys pissed off? Like, were you getting like a lot of flack, from the heavy guys, like saying this was bullshit, you didn't deserve it?
No, I really didn't hear anything. Now, if somebody was saying it, I didn't hear it. But it was one of those things where every time I turned around, there was somebody that was telling me, how great they thought it was and how awesome they thought I did. And
that's good.
So it really felt good, to know that, everybody that I bumped into felt the same way.
All right, well, it's a nice ego boost to win your national qualifier in your hometown there, but obviously the bigger picture is the Junior USA, which is coming up this coming weekend in Charleston, South Carolina. It's Trey Bennett's Junior USA. Talk to me a little bit about what your mental, game plan is going into this event.
Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick to the business of bodybuilding, and I'm going to really just make sure that I'm on track with my training, my diet, and just really keeping a mental focus. One of the things that really helps me to do that is my wife. Without my wife, a lot of the things that I do wouldn't be possible, because she's really in that corner for me. She's very supportive, so, making sure that I've got all my food ready, making sure that my mental game is right, making sure I get my workouts like I'm supposed to. She's a very, very supportive role in everything that I do. And so what I'm doing is I just handle the business of bodybuilding, and then she handles all the leg work.
Now, what is the business of bodybuilding for you? I mean, obviously, as most bodybuilders, you probably eventually want to get a pro card, but what do you do for a living at this point to make ends meet? Are you involved with bodybuilding in some capacity?
What I do is I'm a personal trainer. I know that's probably like one of the number one bodybuilders.
Yeah, well, it's convenient. That's why.
Yeah, it's very conducive to my goals. I'm in the environment. It really keeps me mentally focused, but it also allows me, to get my meals in, to get my workouts in, and those types of things. But for me, it's personal training, and I pretty much do it all day long. I get up at 4 a.m. I'm at the gym at 5.
Wow.
And I pretty much run all the way till 7 p.m., not counting my personal workout, and then I take my son home for about 2 hours while he gets his nap, and I kind of squeeze one in myself. We both get something to eat, and then we're right back at the gym. And then we just started a food service, my wife and I.
What's it called?
Which it's called Fit Meals. So it's Life Transformations Fit Meals, because Life Transformations is our personal training program. And then I created a separate division called the Fit Meal program. And with that, what we do is I've got a catering service that basically I give them the menu, and I'm in control of how the menu's put together. I get them all super clean foods, the type of foods that bodybuilders should be eating anyway. And then I allow my clients, as well as the members of the gym, to order off this menu. They can mix and match any way they want. And it's something that really has taken off, and they just love it.
Well, it's a good idea, because you don't have to cook the meals yourself. I was going to say, if you're cooking those meals too, I don't know how you're doing it, but
no, there's no way. I like one of the guys, when he prepped the food, I picked up a 70, 80 meal order for a Monday, and he said it took him 7 hours to cook it, and there was no way I could do that and do the personal training and do my bodybuilding.
You are doing the business of bodybuilding, that's for sure. Talk to me a little bit about back training. I'm watching you train here. You obviously have a real good back. Talk to me about what's your main focus when you're training back. What do you feel is the so-called bread and butter of your training?
Really what it comes down to, and it's just like I tell my clients, I try to focus on form before I focus on the weight. I like to lift heavy, but I don't want to sacrifice my form during it. And what I do is I pretty much stick to the basics. You know, I do like a 2 wide movements, be it a row and a pull down, and then I do 2 close movements, be it a row and a pull down also. And it varies from workout to workout. I don't repeat the same exact workout, but it's got the same basic format. So like I might start with, say, rows on one day and pull downs on another, and then the next day I mix it up where it's going to be like pull downs and rows back to back, you know. So but really just sticking to the basic movements and really focusing on my form, making sure that I'm squeezing all the way throughout the movement and keeping it tight on the way back up.
Now, I notice you're also incorporating rear delts into your back workout here. Is this something that you typically do?
Yeah, I started doing that as of this past year. I felt like the head of my deltoid, because of all the pressing movements that we do, I felt like that my deltoid was in shape, and I felt like the front and the middle delt was just a little big, and so I wanted to try and balance it back out. And so what I've done is I do 2 rear delt movements along with my back movements, and I feel like it's helping bring that head back into like more of a sphere, if you will.
Okay, that makes sense. I buy that, and you really can't separate any muscles. They're all interconnected in reality when you think about it. All the pulling and all the pushing muscles. Now I see you're doing, I don't know if this would be considered a side delt movement, or is this a rear delt movement where you kind of like seated with a slight bent over position?
You know, I made up my own name for it, and I know it's not right, but I call it a middle rear delt. Okay. And so basically what I do when I have my clients do it, I tell them to be at a 45, and I call it like 45-degree laterals.
Gotcha.
And so basically I feel like I'm hitting a little bit of the rear delt in there. I do get some trap involved, but I try to keep it as much out of it as I possibly can. Mm-hmm. And I just feel like it's just another way for me to hit that rear delt. In the movements. Okay,
so you feel that you don't need to be completely over horizontal to the ground, but that you can do a 45-degree and you're still kind of hitting that section of that rear delt.
And usually what I do is I start with either a rear pec deck or a bent over dumbbell row, a bent over dumbbell lateral, like a rear delt. Mm-hmm. And I use that as the way of getting the deltoid fired up, and then I finish it off with a second movement being like that 45-degree.
Gotcha. And now I see you doing some traps here, but in an unusual way, using the calf, the standing calf machine to do your traps. Talk to me about what you like about that.
Yeah, you know, one of the things that I like about it is I don't have to pick up those heavy dumbbells. It just lets me kind of just focus on the squeeze and the movement instead of like trying to think about my arms holding all the weight. And what it does is it allows me to kind of move a little bit quicker towards the end of my workout. I like to get those hypers in, but I don't like to have too much rest between them. And it just allows me to just kind of get the 2 movements in, and I don't feel like I need to overdo my traps with the way that they're already developed.
You know, it's funny, but I have to imagine that efficiency in your workout is very important to you. I have this feeling that your workouts don't last that long. Is that true?
No, you know, when I'm getting ready for a contest, I start whittling down the rest time.
Yeah.
And I'll go from about an hour in the off season, and what I do is I slowly work my way down to about 30 or so minutes when I get ready for a show. And it's a process. So, you know, I'm slowly whittling down that time as I get closer and closer to the show.
And plus, you're busy all day, too, so you can't really be spending 2 hours working out in the gym, I'm sure.
Yeah, it would be nice if I could, but yeah, it's just not a reality.
It's probably helpful that you don't spend that much time. Talk to me a little bit about what you've been eating leading up to this show, because I have to imagine you probably have a higher caloric load than most people because you're so active all day long.
Yeah, you know, it really does vary. You know, sometimes, you know, I might be eating a lot of carbs, and then other times I'll be eating, and the same thing goes with my cardio. I might do an hour of cardio one day, and I might be down to 30 minutes on the next. It really depends, and I know how cliche this sounds, but how my body feels at the time. There'll be times where, you know, I feel like I'm getting a little run down, and I just got to toss a few more carbs in there.
Right.
But as we're getting closer and closer to the show, you know, I'm keeping that sodium pretty high. And what I'm doing is, I think on the day that we trained, I was pretty much just protein and veggies with a lot of sodium.
Wow, so you do go very low on certain days.
On certain days, yeah, I will, and then other days, you know, I might have like 4 cups of oatmeal in one sitting.
Gotcha, so it's very instinctual is what you're saying.
Yeah, you know, and I hate to say that because, I mean, just about every guy out there will say something like that.
Did you ever eat, like, cheat meals where you eat garbage food during the diet?
You know, I'm kind of like one of these guys that, like, I hate opening up that Pandora's box because I'm afraid that if I did open it, I wouldn't be able to shut it. Plus, I feel like it would get me out of the mode mentally. Because once I get focused and driven on something, I don't like to deviate. And it might be my obsessive side, but, you know, I count stuff all the way down to the gram. And, you know, my wife, she's pretty good about it, too, because she knows exactly how I am.
I think that being neurotic is probably a good attribute in bodybuilding from what I've seen. And, Rob, I just want to say congratulations on your win at the Muscle Mayhem, and good luck this weekend at the Junior USA. We will be there watching your progress, and hopefully you will emerge victorious in that middleweight class.
Yeah, that would be really awesome.
For now, though, we are out of time. I'm Dave Palumbo with Robert Wichman in the Iron Asylum.